Alright, so I told you all I was going to bring you on my cruising journey when I started this channel, and this is one of those videos where I'm going to bring you on my journey. I don't necessarily want to bring you on this one. I think that there's a lot of secrets, probably a lot of shame wrapped up in this conversation, but I'm going to share it in full and honest transparency, as much as I'm comfortable with at least, to let you know what my experience has been on cruise lines with gambling and why I've decided to stop gambling. Hey everybody, it's Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I go on a weekend cruise just about every weekend. And one of the ways that, I was going on weekend cruises so frequently is I was gambling in the casino. And you know what? I have stopped that now. So in evaluating my life choices and decisions I was making, I've decided to pull away from the casino. Now this video that I'm going to make is not tailored or geared towards anybody. It is really just me sharing my experience, and I'm gonna walk you through kind of what led me to actually stop gambling. So if you're looking at stopping gambling or you're looking at backing away a little bit, you may find some of this video to be helpful. If you're somebody that thinks gambling is the end all be all and the best thing ever, you might want to just fast forward through this video or go to another one. There's a lot of great content out there, because this one might brow you up just a wee little bit. But hopefully it's going to be a very true and factual journey of what I've gone through and why I stopped gambling. So let me start with the obvious statement here. And if you were not aware, did you know that gambling is addictive? It's addictive. It is an addictive sport. Like many things that are out there, it is addictive. Whatever spin people want to put on it, it is addictive. Was I addicted to gambling on the cruise ships? I'm going to say no. I don't think that I personally was addicted. If I was to go out there and ask a professional, was I addicted? They might say that I certainly had some tendencies. That part I will agree with. Did I gamble more money than I ever thought that I would? Absolutely. I still to this day am kind of surprised how much I let myself do in the casino from a gaming perspective, because I went in there saying I was only going to do this, and next thing I knew I had blown through that and 5 more goals sometimes. So gambling is addictive, and no one really talks about the losses. So you hear a lot of people sharing what the good sides are that they see with gambling. You don't hear a lot of people talking about the losses when it comes to gaming. I used to remember when I would get a hand pay or a jackpot on a slot machine, and everybody come over being like, "Oh my goodness, that's great, congratulations, that's awesome." And I'm sitting there scratching my head being like, yeah, but I'm still down. Like, I'm not making any money over here. These people thought that I was getting rich off this machine. And I was like, no, I'm still losing money. But people don't talk about that. Like, I had imposter syndrome, because everybody's like, oh, like you hit a jackpot, that's great. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm still down. So people don't talk about the losses. They're only going to tell you how much they made, not how much they actually put into the machine. And then there's the myth of the free cruise. Everybody says they get to come on the cruise for free. Or maybe they say they're just coming on a casino comp, but in their mind, it is a free cruise. I like to refer to this as prepaid at a premium. So when I'm getting free cruises from the casino, I'm paying a lot of money for that room. That is definitely a premium from what I could have just gone out there and bought the stupid room for to start with. But I'm looking at it as a win or a way to recoup my earnings, though I'm still just spending a lot more money that is out there. The other thing that didn't really sit well with me is I'm in an interior room right now. I'm in a small interior on MSC Magnifica. I always say the name wrong. But I don't need a junior suite. That's how I got all my junior suites. Secrets out of the bag. I don't need a junior suite. I'm a really easygoing guy, and I'm here for a weekend. I mean, it's 3 days. I'm in 2 beautiful ports today. I'm hardly ever in the room except for making these videos. I don't need a nice room. This room cost me $300 plus $75 of onboard credit. Let's say that you spent $300 in the casino. Go to the casino host and ask them, what can you get for free? Can you get a room at that point if you gambled and lost $300? They're going to look at you and laugh and say, we'll give you a cup of water. How about that? $300 doesn't even break the bank. For me, the comp from this interior room to getting me up to a junior suite, I never would have bought that for myself anyway. It's a nice perk. The casino spoiled me, but I don't really need that. I find for me and in my situation, it is 10 times nicer and easier for me to just book the cruise that I want, go on that cruise, and pay a lesser amount than what I'd lose in the casino. Now, there's really 3 different ways people are getting these free cruises, or prepaid at a premium, as I call them. The first way is going to be through an instant certificate or through your gaming play in the casino. So if you sit down at a machine, you sit down at a table, the casino has ways of rating you and saying, are you a good player, are you not a good player? And then that will determine what kind of offer you get to come back on another one. So you can get what's on some cruise lines, they call it an instant certificate. If you're working with a junket, you may just get another free cruise out of it. But based on your level of play, you're going to qualify for another cruise that you can come on so that you can play more. These offers are not the best in the world these days. They are very limited. They don't let you go to just any cruise ship, and they keep you locked into a specific line when you go this route. That's something else that I wasn't a huge fan of, is when I was gambling specifically on Royal Caribbean a lot, I could only sell on Royal because I'd go on Royal, win a free cruise, I had to go back on Royal. And I really wanted to start going to other cruise lines. So I had to stop gambling and buying my cruises in order to have that freedom and flexibility to go over to other cruise lines. The second way that people try to make their money back or get these comps is through, I call them random offers. So they'll send you something in the mail, there may be email, there might be a website where you can go and see if you've gotten any offers to go on a free cruise. Now, this is above and beyond what you've won on the ship. So if you played on the ship and you earned another cruise, this is different. And this is where it really makes more financial sense sometimes if you're getting these additional offers. These were very strong post-COVID, and that's kind of when I did most of my gambling. And those offers, they're not out there anymore. They are very limited. They dried up completely for me, honestly. And so I wasn't getting that extra perk that's out there. And by the way, those are always for random sailings, odd times of years, ships that they're not selling out and they had extra capacity for. They'd give them to casino players to try to generate that revenue. So really, not normally an amazing list to choose from either. Some people try to get around these different rules and regulations by having what's called a junket. A junket is basically a travel agent, but instead of getting compensated based on you booking a room. So if I book through a normal travel agent, they're going to get a commission based on the price of that room. A junket, however, gets commission based on your actual play in the casino. They are basically a middleman to say, hey, here's a gambler, here's a casino, let me connect the two. I'm going to introduce them. I'm going to be the matchmaker here, and they're going to get paid based on your gaming play. How much you gamble is how much they make money on. And for me, that just didn't set well. I mean, I didn't want to go on a cruise line and be expected to gamble in the casino because I went through a junket. If you don't gamble, they don't make their money and they're probably not going to give you any more offers. And you need to play enough to make your hurdle. Yeah, you can build a relationship with them and they'll know your total play, but I just don't like knowing that somebody is really that incentivized for me to gamble because I didn't want to do it every single cruise. I was fine doing it once every now and again, but I don't think a junket in me would work out really well. And here are some of the nuanced reasons why I decided to stop, and these might apply to you as well. So for me, I missed out on a lot of ship activities. I missed out on meeting people because when I got bored, had downtime, was just, walking around the ship, I'd find myself spending hours in the casino and I missed the activities. I missed meeting people. I didn't have all those wonderful experiences, which really made me fall in love with cruising in the first place. Instead, I would sit with me and my machine, and the machine became my friend. It's kind of bizarre, especially being a solo traveler, but the machine was kind of my companion. If I didn't have anything else to do, I'd go and hang out with a slot machine for a while, and that would keep me company. I could have easily just gone and sat at a bar, sat at a restaurant, and met somebody, but instead, I decided to go waste some of my money. The other thing that I've experienced a few times, and hopefully most of you have not experienced this, if something goes wrong on your cruise that is comped from the casino, let's say that there's a hurricane and it's shortened, it's canceled, you have a really bad experience and you go to complain or something of that nature, there is nothing that the casino or the cruise line will do for you if it is a free cruise. If it is a comp cruise, you paid absolutely nothing to be here per the cruise line, not the casino. You paid nothing by the cruise line. They will give you absolutely nothing because most of what they'll say is, hey, we'll give you 50% of what you paid. We'll give you 10% of what you paid. You didn't pay anything. You got a free cruise based on your play, but you didn't pay anything. So there's several cases where I've had canceled cruises, I've had cruises shortened, and I did not get a thing because it was all based on what you paid for your cruise. And guess what? I hadn't paid for it. And the final thing here, and this one is going to hit home for a lot of people very, very soon, is you don't think about the tax ramifications to gambling. So you get a win-loss form every time you hit a jackpot. When they give you those hand pays, they're giving you a tax form that you got to send over to your accountant. Not going into how you need to do that, but you need to go and get a win-loss statement from the casino. At Royal Caribbean, the one that I've done most of my play on, you've actually got to get a notarized form. They don't want just anybody pulling this. I don't know if they're scared a spouse who doesn't have insight into it might request the number, but you've got to request how much you won or lost the entire year. And that number, oh my God, like I hate seeing that number. I don't know about you, but it's one thing when I see the individual losses from the casino, but then you add it up for a 12-month period, and it scares me. It absolutely did not pay for the cruises. I could have just booked them. It would have been a fraction of the cost. And I get mad at myself every time I have to file my taxes because it just resonates just how stupid of decisions I was making throughout the entire year gambling in the cruise ship casino. So for all those reasons, and probably a couple more, I've decided not to gamble on the casinos anymore. It is not something that I am finding value in. I'm not finding fun. I tried it. It worked for a time period. But you all know that I tell you that my cruising style changes. My cruising taste buds, if you will, evolve and shift. And what I liked doing last year, I don't necessarily like doing this year. And so I'm excited in 2024 to be buying my cruises on the ship that I want to go on the date that I want to go on, and saving any more money, and hopefully one day retiring early. All right, everybody, this is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser. Hoping to see you on a weekend cruise soon.